So we're in a situation where we have an odd power of tangent. So we have an odd power of tangent. So what we're going to do is pull off a tangent and a secant. That's going to leave us with an even power of tangent. We can convert the even power of tangent, into something to do with secant squared. And now we'll do a u substitution after that. So let's see how we start off here. So we start off with the integral of tangent cubed x over the square root of secant x dx equals, and what I want to do is I want to pull off tan x secant x dx. Now, to compensate for that, in the numerator I'll have tangent squared x, and in the denominator I'm going to put a secant x, which is going to cancel out with that original x, and then I have my original square root of secant x. Okay? So make sure you can understand, or make sure you believe that these two expressions are equivalent. So why do we have tangent cubed? We're looking here, we've got the tangent squared and the tangent. So that's tangent cubed. And then if you notice, the secant x and the secant x down here will cancel out, and we'll have a dx and a square root of secant x. So I'm pulling off a factor of tangent and secant, coupling it with my dx, because my next step is going to be to rewrite this as the integral. Now instead of tangent squared x, I'm going to have secant squared x minus 1. Okay? Now in the denominator we'll have secant x times the square root of secant x. And then over here we'll have tan x secant x dx. Now this is in perfect shape to do a u substitution. So if I let u equal secant x, then du is secant x tan x dx. Okay, so that's my motivation. I can rewrite this as the integral of u squared minus 1 divided by u times the square root of u du, using this u substitution. And now, this is an easy, it's not that easy, but I know how to work with this a lot better than I do the tangent cubed and square root of secant. Let me just, in the numerator, keep it as u squared minus 1. In the denominator, I'm going to write this as u to the 1.5. Okay? And then I'm going to split the numerator. Remember on the very first, it's like the first or second day of class, we reviewed these techniques. I'm going to split this numerator. So I have u squared divided by u to the 1.5 minus 1 over u to the 1.5 du. And then now I use my algebra to simplify the first ratio to be u to the 0.5. And then the second ratio, I'm just going to write it as u to the negative 1.5 du. Now I'm ready to integrate. I will have u to the 1.5 over 1.5, and then minus u to the negative 0.5 over negative 0.5. Okay, and I guess we could put plus c. Remember, u is actually secant x, so we'll rewrite this as secant x to the power of 1.5 over secant over 1.5 minus, the minus and the negative should cancel each other out. So we'll actually have plus, and then 1 over secant x to the 0.5. And we've got here 0.5 plus c. And if we want to simplify things, we can multiply the top and the bottom by 2. And over here, we can multiply the top and the bottom by 2. Okay, so in the bottom, we're going to get 3, and the top will have 2. And it is secant x to the 1.5 plus 2 over square root of secant x plus c. That would be our final answer.